Hello and welcome to round 2. We have been put on the draw and we have an interesting hand. So we have two lands, both on mountains, and currently with our hand we have no playables because we have to draw a forest. So I'm going to mulligan this. So this hand's a little bit slow, but I think it's a keep. We have Prism on turn 2, so we've got like a few opportunities to draw something. Our opponent has also mulligan to 6. And he's also a Wizards of the Coast account. So I'm playing against a Wizards employee here. I'm going to put Forced Adaptation on the bottom, just because we don't have a creature to go with it. And it doesn't seem like a great turn 5 play right now. Okay, well, Scorchwalker's not really the draw we wanted. Let's play Stomping Ground tapped here. Frilled Oculus. Okay, so this seems like a reasonable card. What do we want to play? I think we're just going to play our green side watcher here, just as a 2-drop. It's really unexciting, but I'd prefer to get a creature on the board rather than playing Prophetic Prism. Okay, that's annoying. They're going to be able to basically keep tapping down our one creature. Yep, not a good draw. Yeah, well, we are flooding out here. Okay, so we're going to probably play Scorchwalker in this situation. Given we have Gorklan Rampager in hand, I think it's a better card to discard. So at some stage we're going to be in a situation where we can discard Scorchwalker and Gorklan Rampager to do like 9 extra damage. Okay, our opponent's also stuck on mana. Ugh. Well, that's just... They're mana screwed, we're mana flooded. Yeah, I'm going to play Scorchwalker. Which presumably our opponent will tap down. Do we want to block? I guess we do, just because that hand's a binding. And if our opponent is screwed, and taking them off what resources they have seems reasonable. So they have got another 2-drop. Okay, here I'm going to attack with our Watcher, and then actually play Gorklan Rampager this turn. Because now we're going to have a 4/4 Trampler with the opportunity to make it a 9/5 Trampler. So we're going to get the beatdowns going, I think. Yeah, if our opponent continues to miss land drops, then majorly unlucky for them. Do they have... Yep. We do want to keep playing out lands just because we have 6 drops. Given our opponent has mana up and is taking their time over something, I don't think there's any point blood rushing until either we win the game or we need it to kill another creature or something like that. Another Frilled Oculus. This is really chalk and cheese, isn't it? It's an argument we could have just played out Scorchwalker last turn, but I think I'd prefer to use it as a trick. That said, we could have our opponent down to... I guess they'd block it with the Frilled Oculus, so... It's such a weak attacker, Scorchwalker, because it's not got Trample, and it's only got 1 toughness. So you need to find a way to get it through unblocked. Most of the time. so our opponents hit a third land, but not played anything. Didn't attack with Frilled Oculus. Maybe respecting the fact that we could just have 2 Blood Rush creatures in our hand. Okay, well, we have Wasteland Viper. So Wasteland Viper gives us an extra 6 power. If Gorklan connects this turn, we don't need 6 power, we're just going to need an extra 4. So I'm just going to play this Wasteland Viper. It means next turn, if they can't block both creatures, we can at least get in for 6. Yeah, opponent scoops. They've had a pretty rough draw there. I guess luckily for them, we don't exactly know whether they're blue-green, but given this Frilled Oculus, we're gonna assume they're blue-green. So blue-green is like an evolved deck. We do have a few blue-green cards, so at least look at what they've got. I think it might be a game where we want this Millennial Gargoyle. There's a few flyers in blue that we're going to be really weak to. On the draw, I'm going to bring up Foundry Street Denizen. Yeah, I'm going to bring in this Gargoyle. It's not strong, but I think it's fine. I'm going to take out Prophetic Prism. We don't actually have that much need for fixing. Our mana base is reasonable, and we have the dual land, so we don't actually need it. I think I might bring in Burst of Strength again, just on the draw. I could even bring in Wildwood Rebirth. If we look at the league details, our opponent had quite a long game last time. Wildwood Rebirth seems like a reasonable card in a long game, so quite like that idea. I think that's just what we're going to go with there. Okay, so we have a 1-land hand that we're going to have to mulligan. I think if this was a forest, it'd be more interesting, because we go Experiment 1, Forced Adaptation if we only had 1 land, but yeah, definitely mulligan this. It's another 1-lander. My general rule is to always mulligan 1-landers in draft, just because it's so easy to get screwed. But we do have, a scry and 2 draw steps to find a second land for turn 2. And then a scry and 3 draw steps. And then we get to Verdant Haven, and then we're actually going to be fine. So this hand is very borderline, I think. We also have 16 lands in the deck. That's roughly half the chance to draw. Opponents kept 6. I think I'm going to keep this and hopefully find at least a second land. Yeah, keep that on top. Opponent also scried to the top. Okay. So now we have 2 draw steps to find a land for Verdant Haven. Metropolis Sprite. Okay, well 6-drop isn't really what we want in this situation, but get the lands to go with it, then this card looks reasonable to me. Because our front is blue-green. We're not going to block here because they'll just pump the Sprite. We can't afford to... I guess we could block. And if we don't draw land, we could use Wildwood Rebirth, but... Ooh, they got the Manipulator. But that's good news for us because we... So, remove... Okay, so they have to get 2 counters on the Simic Manipulator. So, they're almost assuredly not blocking here. Okay, and Verdant Haven works. It doesn't really matter which land we enchant. So I'm gonna enchant a forest, just because if there's some form of land destruction, we have 2 forests. Okay. So Evolve is great power or toughness, and this elusive Krasis is an 0-4 that can't be blocked. That's an interesting theory. So I think here we just actually want to attack and play Scorchwalker. Well, Bloodrush Scorchwalker, I should say. Okay, well they've not done anything, so we're not going to do anything. If we... I guess we could Bloodrush Skinbrand Goblin and get it back, but that seems like a pretty weak move. And here we're just going to tap the Enchanted Forest by the Goblin. Okay, we're not curving out very well this game, but 1, 2, 3, 4. With an extra mana, we can play Adaptive Snapjaw, and then if we draw 2 lands, we can play Ripscale Predator. They are all, in all likelihood, going to be able to take our Disciple here, which is going to be not very good at all. So does this... No. So basically they gain control of the creature forever. It's not like we can't even kill... Oh, the Krasis evolves as well. Oh, well. This isn't looking entirely good for us, is it? And they have another... So we'd have quite enjoyed another Disciple of the Old Ways. So we're gonna want to finish this game off really quickly here. We could block Skinbrand Goblin, Metropolis Sprite with Skinbrand. Oh no, we can't. It's flying. Okay, bad idea. So I assume they're gonna block or steal one of our creatures. Which, if we get to attack step, we can Blood Rush Scorchwalker, so that they can't actually steal the creature. So yeah, if we draw a land next turn, we can play Scorchwalker or Blood Rush Scorchwalker and play Wildwood Rebirth to get the Scorchwalker back in our hand. Forced adaptation. So this is really bad because whenever we put forced adaptation on, they can just steal. Right, I'm going to attack with both. Not blocking. Interesting. So this is really not good for us because, like I said, whatever we do, our opponent's basically going to... if we Blood Rush, they can tap the Simic Manipulator. So I think we just have to let this through. We could play Scorchwalker as a creature, but it's so flimsy. Yeah, our hand really doesn't play that well in this situation. Krasis makes them both evolve. So we really want to draw our removal here. Preferably is it Homing Lightning, the one that does 4 damage? We take 2, 5, 8, 9, 11. And can do 8 on the crackback. So I think we're probably dead. Given our opponent has us on a 2-turn clock on the board. They're going to leave the Manipulator back. So we are still dead next turn, I think. What does that do for us? That means... For start, it means we can attack with Disciple, Blood Rush, and give it First Strike. So at the moment, we can't block 3, 4, 7 power. If we play this Adaptive Snapjaw, they'll probably steal it, and then we have to block that, and probably Frilled Oculus or the Manipulator, which means we take the aforementioned 7 plus the Disciple, which is 2, which is 9. So I think we are just dead. So I don't think it's even worth showing our opponent like Forced Adaptation or the 2 6-drops. I think we should just concede here, just to conceal as much information as possible. Okay, so... Right, we're going to bring Foundry Street Denizen back in. We want the aggression, get rid of this Wildwood Rebirth. Signal of the Clans only gets creature cards. So I don't think that's great. Razor Tip Whip doesn't deal damage to creatures. Shattering Blows any artifacts. There's not really much we can do here, so I think we're just going to make that change and run it back. Okay, so obviously we are going to play first, and I think it's time to keep. It'd be better if we had a red source, so we could play Foundry Street Denizen, but we still have a turn 1 play and a turn 2 play in Pit Fight, so definitely a keep. Pit Fight and Wasteland Viper is a nice combination because obviously fighting and Death Touch. Opponent's mulled again, so they've mulled now I think in all of the games, which is pretty rough for them. Let's go right to the top. Okay, so we could Pit Fight here. I don't think there's much point, because we can kill this Cloudron Raptor at any stage of the game, given we have a Death Toucher out. So we're going to follow it up with another 1-drop. Exciting stuff here. We don't actually have that many red creatures in the deck, I don't think, for Foundry Street Denizen, but... Okay, so our opponent doesn't have a 2-drop, so the Raptor does not evolve. So I think we're in a reasonable situation here. We could play Slaughterhorn. I think playing Slaughterhorn in this situation is probably correct. So yeah, we'll probably Pit Fight that Sage's Road Denizen. We could even Active Treason it for this turn and get in for 7. 7 isn't a massive number though. And I do quite like the idea of keeping Wasteland Viper around. So I guess if we attack with Slaughterhorn and Wasteland Viper here, there's a chance they don't block because we've got mana up and we're in a deck that could easily have tricks. Active Treason seems pretty weak. Only getting in for 7 on an Active Treason turn and not even sort of remotely ending the game doesn't sound incredible. I'm going to attack with Slaughterhorn and Wasteland Viper. If they block Slaughterhorn with the Denizen, I think I'm alright with that. So I think what I'll do is pit fight in response to the Cloudfin Raptor trigger next turn. So in the Wasteland Viper survives. At least if it fights the Raptor. Hands of Binding. Okay, fine with me. Cypher, you have to do damage to a player. Okay. Fine. So basically, just going to kill the Cloudfin Raptor. And they've spent their turn making sure our Wasteland Viper doesn't untap. I'm not sure what tricks there are in blue for 1 mana. So I'm not exactly playing around anything here, but it resolves. I think that's usually fine. Okay, so now we literally have nothing to do with our turn because we can't even act a treason something. We are on course to play Ruination Worm on turn 6, though, which is probably going to be a pretty big thing in this game. Our opponents missed their turn 4 land drop and don't have green mana, so just having a big 7/6 creature out, I think, is going to be a good way to end the game. Yeah, they've missed another land drop and can't. Wouldn't be surprised if Ruination Worm elicits a concession, but I guess there's always a threat of some counter spell for 3 blue mana. I don't know if there's one in this format, but I should have played that before combat for the extra point of damage, I guess, but probably not going to matter. We can get him for 9 next turn. So they played the Krasis and then conceded. Okay, well, pretty unlucky for our opponent. We're going to draw a few blanks for a few turns, but I think we probably would have won that game. So yeah, we're going to make it to finals, which is always good. So hopefully I'll see you there.